All right, hey guys, so I'm back with the second dream. I had this, I believe, 2 days ago. Once again, I'm gonna put the camera down and read it because I have it a written on the phone. I was in an old neighborhood of mine, and my aunt used to live in that house. And I was talking outside, in the front of her house. There were stairs that led up to the parking lot. So I was there with two people. I was talking to them about the tribulation and about missiles being launched and, chaos. And all of a sudden I heard this noise, kind of like a alarm going around, like uh like one of those fire alarms that go woo, but like to alert the whole state, I guess. So when I turned around facing toward the house, and up over our house, it was kind of like a silo. I seen far away like a silo where missiles are underground, and I seen this big, huge missile being launched, and it went up in the air and it went west. I'm in Pennsylvania, so it went west. Um, then as that alarm was going off, people were running out their house and they were going crazy because they seen this big missile being launched, and they were wondering what's going on. I already knew what it meant in the dream, and I told my family to get inside the house and lock your doors. But the family was so intrigued with what they seen, plus they were in shock of what was going on. Um, as I was in the house, I looked out the door, the screen door. They weren't. They didn't listen. They didn't lock the doors like I told them to. But I looked out the door, and somehow, let me see. I looked to the right, straight to the right, and kind of like northeast, and there was these houses there, but somehow I had like v- supervision where I could see through the house and see what was behind it, and there was this big flagpole with the American flag, very big. Excuse me. I seen this big flagpole, and it was being knocked down. So that to me, I interpreted as in America was falling. So I seen a big flagpole being knocked down, and it was being knocked down by these like Arabic looking people who were like Muslim, and they were disguised in uh, postal outfits, like mailmen, and then they began delivering packages to every house there. Um, and they were as everyone was going crazy, they were the only ones that were calm. These Arabic Muslims, and they were delivering packages into people's houses. But I knew that those packages were bombs, and they were meant to blow us up. So I kept telling the family to close the door, and I told them what will happen if they didn't. Then, as I looked out the screen door or the window, I don't remember which one it was. I was telling my family to close the shades and the windows, and I seen this lady who had the appearance of Eastern Arabic and they were like the first thing that came to my head was jihad in the dream, and she was dressed as a male lady, and she tried to deliver a package in the home, but I closed the door, but I didn't have enough time to lock it. As she was calling for help, trying to force the door open, other Muslims came to assist her, and they began pushing the door, trying to open it. My family, which was behind me, was in fear, just watched as what I predicted was taking place of what I told them what would happen. And so they were in shock, and they didn't help me close the door for some reason. They were in shock, I guess. Um, so So I remember her slipping a package, this square package, into my home as they were trying to force the door, and then the guy that was helping her stuck his arm in as to pinch so that he could get the door open. So I took that package and I tossed it, and I remember the lady's reaction of when I tossed it. And either someone gave me a gun or I took a gun from my hip and pointed I pointed it out the crack of the door with the guy arm in, and I began shooting him. Uh, and she went crazy because I just killed that guy, and then I got to close the door and I locked the door. Um, prior to to struggling with the door, before she came to the door, I noticed I was closing all the blinds and shades and windows, telling everybody to close them. That way, when she came by the house, she didn't notice that anyone lived there. But they seen me close the shade. Okay, and it was not enough time because it happened so fast. It was not enough time for me to close the shade. I mean, soon after, so after I shot him. I told everybody that we had to leave out of here. Once again, my family was still in shock of everything and didn't budge to move. Meanwhile, Muslims began rallying up in front of the home I was in as, I killed one and they all called for assistance to try to get into the house. I repeated that we had to leave, and I noticed that my wife went upstairs and laid on the bed to watch the news as if it was not serious, but she was in shock as well. With persuasion, I got her out, and I came out. Meanwhile, I guess while I was upstairs, the family ran out the back door of the house. So my family snuck through the back of the home and got into, I believe it was two separate cars. Um, and I was the last one to leave the home. So they began to shoot at me. I do believe that they did shoot me, but it didn't do nothing to me. The shots didn't do nothing. Maybe I was glorified, had a glorified body. I'm not too sure. Um, so I jumped in a car in the front seat, not driving. My stepfather was driving another car. I mean, my stepfather was the one driving the car, and I jumped into the seat. Everyone else was in the cars. I finally got in, and we drove away. The traffic was unbelievable. Like, and it was 4 lanes back. There was 4 lanes, two to go one way, two to go the other way, and it was just backed up. Like everyone was trying, and I remember knowing that we needed to get somewhere safe, but um, the chaos was everywhere. I didn't know where we were going except to get to safety, and then the dream ends, and I awake. So tell me you guys' thoughts and write messages. Uh, God bless you.